So my name is Alex Markle, and I've been a professor of strategy at Gabelli since 2012. I teach both the core course in strategy here, as well as a course on managerial decision-making. And this is the first year that I've had the pleasure of being the director of the Full-Time MBA program. So Gabelli Launch is the name we give to our orientation program for full-time MBA students. And as the name implies, the intention is to give students an initial boost to accelerate their transition back into full-time academics and to prepare them for the job market. You know, the first year of an MBA program can be hectic and stressful for students, and Gabelli Launch is intended to ease that transition and ensure that all of our students can have a successful experience. I think transitioning from the working world back into academics can be hard for students. You're thrown in with a large number of people who you don't know, who you'll be expected to be colleagues with and to work together on projects for 2 years. Additionally, some of the skill development may not be there at the time they join. This is especially true around quantitative skills. We certainly have some incoming students who have been working in a quantitative position and have been working, say, daily with Excel, but many are not. And additionally, many people can find quantitative skills or quantitative tasks challenging and intimidating. And so we try to do things through Launch to make that easier for students and better prepare them for the start of the academic year. And then alongside that, the other thing that happens very quickly in the start of the school year is the interviewing process. And so we want to make sure that students are well equipped early on with the technical know-how to be able to answer technical questions in interviews, but also with all of the standard career development skills that they would have in terms of narrowing down the areas in which they'd like to focus and preparing to develop the materials they need to start that job search. In this coming year, it'll be a 5-week program prior to the beginning of the academic term. We do have other enrichment activities that then continue throughout the entirety of the academic year. But Launch is explicitly our orientation program over the summer. One goal of Launch is just to start to establish connections between the students in our incoming class. And so we have a lot of workshops and exercises that build leadership and teamwork skills, while also giving an opportunity for the students to get to know these people who, as I said, will be their colleagues and project partners over the next 2 years. So that's one area where I think people benefit from this. The other, as I had mentioned before, was the level of intimidation some people feel at the quantitative content of the courses they'll be taking in the fall. Students will be taking economics and finance and accounting and statistics all in their fall term, and we give them an opportunity to sort of upskill prior to starting those classes so that they're not just hit with this all at once. They have a ramp up back into that academic experience. We've found that one of the things our incoming class is most excited about is to hear from and network with the second-year students. We organize panel discussions so the incoming students can hear about the experiences of the second-year class, both in terms of the academics and their experiences in their internship search. And we also provide social engagement so the two classes can start to get to know each other. Many other schools have orientation programs that last only a week or even a weekend. And we believe our students will be better prepared both for the academics and for the internship search if we start working with them earlier. There's really not a lot of time once the semester starts for students to develop the skills that we start building over the course of Launch. Another thing is that at the culmination of our Launch program, we have a consulting project with an international NGO. So this is a real client looking to our MBA students to help provide solutions to the real challenges they face. Students work on teams on a variety of projects for the client around finance, around marketing, around operations. And the class will then travel to actually meet with the client and present their work in the client's home country. So during that trip, we'll also get to learn about doing business overseas, engage with some culture and service-based activities. And I don't know of other MBA programs that get their students involved in a real-world client-driven project like that so earlier in their experience. One advantage of that component of Launch is it really gives students a real concrete example of their skills and achievements that they can then discuss during the internship process. So as I've sort of mentioned before, one goal of Launch is to ensure that everyone has the quantitative skills needed to excel in a rigorous academic environment. And as I said, while some students come in having been utilizing those skills in their job on a daily basis, many don't. So we dedicate 1 week of Launch to put students through what we call QuantCamp, a mixture of self-paced and guided learning on basic finance, accounting, and statistics skills. Because once the semester starts, the academic material will come at them at a rapid pace, and this QuantCamp will ensure that they're ready for it. Alongside the QuantCamp, there are other skill building workshops during Launch. So students will have the opportunity to get Bloomberg certified. They'll have sessions on presentation skills and executive presence. They'll learn the basics of Tableau, a software platform for data visualization that's used widely in industry. And they'll learn how to be successful at cracking case-based interviews. The last 2 years has certainly been a challenge for us. So 2 years ago, all of our orientation was done exclusively online. This past year, we transitioned to a hybrid format where the first couple of weeks were online and then everything subsequent to that was done in person. Our hope and certainly our expectation for this year is that everything would be in person. And we do hope to return to international travel, which had been on pause for the last 2 years. So we do expect and hope that our students will be able to travel internationally immediately prior to the beginning of the fall term to do this international consulting project. We have a very strong culture of caring. And so developing those social bonds with your peers, with faculty, and with administrators early on is important to that. I think the second part is that Fordham's identity is built a lot around business with purpose. And to have this first really substantial international consulting project be around working with an NGO doing good work on behalf of humanity really communicates those values to students. We want students to get started early on in career development. Interviews for summer internships happen early, and we want students to start thinking about possible career paths, about polishing their resumes and their LinkedIn profiles, work on cover letters, learn about the hiring environment in different industries, and prepare for interview processes right from the start. So Launch to Landing is a program of career development that stretches over the 2 years the students are at Fordham. And it's designed really to aid students in narrowing their career objectives and to start creating materials to begin that job search. Well, I think that imposter syndrome is not only a problem for people in business schools, obviously, even as you begin your career, and including many people well into their careers continue to feel that way, that they'll somehow be found out as not knowing what they purport to know or having the skills they purport to have. I think that we try to push students to put themselves out there while also maintaining a space where they feel comfortable to do that. I think through a lot of these group projects, including this consulting project where students are going to be asked to stand up in front of a real client, discuss the solutions that they've developed and take questions, really puts that to the test. It gives them a chance to put themselves forward, and in fact, forces them to put themselves forward, but in an environment that's comfortable and provides supportive feedback. So I very much like working with students who are open-minded to a wide array of experience and who are open to taking risks. You see a variety of people apply for an MBA program. Some of these people have a very clear idea from the outset of exactly what they want to do in the program and the path they want their careers to take. Other people are much less sure and are more open to exploration. But I would very much hope that even those who come in with a very clear idea still recognize that may shift quite a bit over the course of their time in an MBA program. And I would ask of students and hope that we would attract students who would be willing to try a whole variety of things, because you never know where you might find inspiration or a new path forward that you didn't formally see for yourself. And alongside that is a capacity for and willingness to take risks and to put yourself out there. I think anyone who is looking to combine a truly rigorous academic experience with a caring environment and an orientation towards true business with purpose and using business in a way to improve the lives of others would be more than welcome and would be encouraged to apply to our program.